It's Emmy-nominated, magnified documentary series and is executive produced by Kevin Durant. Cue Ball premieres tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern on FS1. All right, let's move now to the NBA, where the Bucks got bounced from the Eastern Conference Finals Saturday night, with Giannis Antetokounmpo struggling as Milwaukee dropped 4 straight to Kawhi and the Raptors. After the loss, Bucks coach Mike Budenholzer had some advice for his star player, but Giannis was left speechless.
We feel like he's going to get a lot better. He's at 24. Some guys are, I don't want to say they are who they are, and some of the great ones at 24 were just, and then they were the same at 30 and 32 and so on and so forth. Giannis, we feel like, has got a lot of room to grow.
For both of you guys, I'm curious, you guys have talked a lot about how at this point, sometimes it takes experience. I'm wondering if now that you have some of that experience, if you see more validity to that point, or what you think about that now that you've gone through it.
Good. All right, the question here is, can the Bucks win a championship with Giannis as their best player?
Yes, I believe in his growth. I believe in the greatest mental attribute he seems to exude is the fact that he has that tenacity, that toughness, that, okay, like you were saying earlier, you could put more weight on him and he'll respond. From his rookie year to what we saw this year, every single major statistical category went up every single year, except the three-point shooting. And that's where the struggles are, and that's where Toronto was able to exploit him in terms of just being a pure shooter. But take it home to my fandom and the Clippers and watching Blake Griffin after his rookie year when he was out. And then he came back, and he was just a dash and go to the rim guy too, dunking on everybody. And then he was getting challenged within inner circles to the point where even President Obama at the time said, hey, can you hit an 18-footer? Now Blake Griffin is 36% from the three-point line. Like, he can evolve like him and other guys. I see that evolution occur.
Yeah, and to your point, I had this conversation with Blake, and what killed him is that people said he was just a dunker, and he wanted to prove them wrong. Yeah. And I believe that Giannis has that same thing. Having talked to people who have coached him, played with and against him, they all say he has the work ethic. Now, there is a lot of work to be done on that game, because it was pretty easy to figure out, I'm going to make him go left. I'm not going to let him come back right. I'll let him take that big left Euro step. And then once he picks up his dribble, now he's stuck. So there is work to be done, but everybody tells me that he has the work ethic to do it. By the way, you guys know the backstory on the press conference? So the woman reporter who asked the question had tweeted out something that he took exception to. So he wasn't going to answer that question from the very beginning. And the unfortunate thing is, the Bucks, somebody with the Bucks should have got to him and said, look, you got to be bigger than it, right? You got to, don't be LeBron James in 2011, be bigger than it.
Let me say this. You both compared him to Blake Griffin. And I think most people would say you can't win a championship with Blake Griffin as your best player. That's one. Two, I agree with both of you in terms of there's a lot of work to be done. And Kevin McHale's postgame can't be picked up in any offseason. Dirk Nowitzki's ability to shoot can't be picked up in any offseason. I don't know what he's going to do on the offensive end. To me, he's a 7-foot Dominique Wilkins. And Dominique Wilkins is a guy that you couldn't win a championship with as your best player. He's a great help defender on the defensive end, and great rebounder, and I get all that. I think he's a great number 2.
Right.
He could be a 7-foot Scottie Pippen to someone, but someone has to come in. You pair him with the right guy off. And I don't know if Jimmy Butler would be better than Giannis, but they need somebody they can throw the ball to in the final 2 minutes of the game and go get a bucket, because it's not Giannis. And I don't think it's ever going to be.
I love how you brought up Dirk, because now there's some other parallels to Dirk. Dirk was NBA MVP. Giannis probably wins the MVP this year. There was a time when Dirk, remember, they got swept 1-8, and they were like, Dirk can never be the leader of a championship team. Dirk found a way, and Giannis can find a way as well. The narrative will be out there until he changes it, that maybe you're not a guy who could lead us to a championship. You're MVP, and that's it. But I see his game being so well-rounded once he figures out I need to create distance. Today's NBA, what I love about Steph Curry is he just told all these guys, this is the new calculus. Back up. Damian Lillard, who used to be a great shooter from 30 feet, took it to 35 feet. Like, you just got to back it up. That's all.
But my thing, Marcellus and Rick, is just like, with Dirk Nowitzki in the final 2 minutes, he can go get you a bucket. I never see Giannis as that guy. Even if Giannis develops a three-point shot, he's still not a guy that, I'm going to give it to him and he's going to go get me a bucket in the final minutes.
Generally, I don't want anybody who's 7 feet, and Kevin Durant has the same issue at times. If you're 7 feet tall, it's physics. That's a high dribble, no matter how low you get, which means you're always susceptible to getting it picked. But when it comes to winning a championship, my best player has to be my hardest worker. I can find a guy who's a closer. The argument, Kyrie Irving was the closer. LeBron James was the centerpiece of the team. If you get the right pieces around him, and it does take special pieces, the right pieces, I believe they can get it done.